So a few days ago, we had a news here on X from Kalshi that has now launched an up and down market. So we can trade now the 15-minute crypto markets across Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, similar to how we have it on Polymarket. So this actually creates opportunities to some kind of an arbitrage. You know, if you have the same markets on Kalshi and Polymarket, and if there's like a mispricing between the outcomes, you could potentially do some arbitraging here and make money. There's another guy here that talks about something similar where you can do market arbitrage. So again, between Polymarket and Kalshi, you find, markets that are similar or identical in nature, and then you do both sides on the platforms when the total price is less than $1. So for example, as you say, in a perfect efficient world, yes price plus no price equals $1. But then there will be cases, just like we discussed on a 15-minute market, that the yes on platform A and no on platform B is actually less than $1. If we monitor both 15-minute markets on Polymarkets and Kalshi, we could potentially do some arbitrage here when the total price of yes and no tokens is less than $1. So that's very interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds. So there's another thing that a lot of people they are talking about, and that's the bond market on Polymarket. So the bonds markets is basically where you actually take these very likely events, and it can look a little bit risky. Like for example, if you see here, he bets 100,000 to win 101,000. So you're actually putting a lot of money on the line to win not a lot. But there's actually a good idea behind it. Like if you can consistently do 1 or 2% on sure trades, every single day, you can actually make a lot of money. So for example, in his example, he have almost 700 APY, and that's actually a lot of money in the long term. But I think there's nuances to it. We really have to understand, well, what is actually going on here, because this guy here, Weston, he have a good explanation of how this actually works. So most people think Polymarket just about predicting outcomes and gambling. Wrong. The real consistent edge is mechanics, and one of the cleanest plays is bonding resolved market. So this is, I think, is the key word here, a resolved market. Because I've seen other people talk about taking a sure, like these 99% bets before the market is resolved. And if you do that, well, then you have these off chance that it's actually gonna resolve in the opposite end. So you have these, I don't know if you can call it black swan events, but most of the time, yeah, you're gonna make, the 1%, half a percent maybe. Then you only take one really, really bad bet to completely wipe out the entire portfolio. But what he is talking about is actually bonding on the resolved markets. So if you understand how the UMA oracle works, you can consistently extract EV and make money off of those who don't understand resolutions. So how the resolutions works, each Polymarket is finalized based on a UMA oracle resolution, where UMA oracle verify the proposal for the markets to finalize. The flow and outcome is proposed. Challenge windows open. Somebody can dispute the proposed outcome by paying a bond. UMA tokens hold a vote on the truth to determine the outcome, and outcome can be challenged 2x. If two challenges are unsuccessful, the market is fully resolved. So how it actually works, the bonding alpha, when a market is in review, it is being reviewed by the UMA oracle before fully completing as yes or no. Clicking in review will take you to the UMA oracle page. So here we can see the example. It's 100%, but yes is 99.9. So I suppose the idea here is you basically collect 0.1% by buying yes. And it also depends on if you have you need to have liquidity, right, to be able to buy yes. So it's for the people that don't want to wait for it to be resolved. The alpha is that a market can be resolved on UMA while remaining in review on Polymarket. The gap in time of UMA resolving and Polymarket resolving is where the money is made. Once UMA has finalized an outcome, the probability of reversal is zero, but price often lags because users don't understand UMA mechanics. Users want liquidity immediately. They don't want to wait for full resolution. People wait for Polymarket to resolve and opposed. People wait for Polymarket to resolve as opposed to UMA. So I mean, yeah, that makes sense. If there's a lag between the Oracle and then Polymarket actually resolving the event, then you know for sure that, yeah, it is resolved. We're just waiting for Polymarket to sort of, mark it as resolved. And then there's potentially an opportunity to scrape, very little money. But, from this seems like it's like 100%. So for sure it's interesting. And it's, it's something you probably don't want to do manually. You definitely want to create like an automated bot that does this automatically. So how profitable is this if the rewards are so small? It's one of the most profitable strategies on Polymarket, in my opinion, in his opinion. A 0.1 return on $1,000 is $1 per bond at 99.9 cents. Imagine you do this once a day. That's $365 per year using $1,000. So that's a 36.5% APY, which is, that's very good, if you can do this consistently and with no risk. So like we really have to emphasize here that we need to make sure that it can never resolve to the opposite end. So we need to make sure that it is resolved. We're just waiting for like Polymarket to basically, click a button or something like that. And another thing about it is, then you also need a lot of capital because, $1,000, yep, you can do a decent amount per year. But, it's not going to grow exponentially as we see other traders do. So you probably need a lot of money to really capitalize on this. Here's another example of a guy that does, he did 2 bonds yesterday at 0.1% profit each. It gives me 0.2% in 1 day. So for this guy, 73% APR. Here he won $14,000 with a bet of $13,986. So that's pretty crazy to think about. He bet almost $14,000 to win $14. So 14 divided by 13,986. So that is 0.1%. I mean, it sounds crazy and it kind of looks crazy that you put so much on the line. And you probably do not want to do this if it's not 100% sure. Like even if there's the slightest chance this not working, it's not worth it, because just one of these bets that resolves to, the opposite of what you, bought, it's going to wipe out your entire returns for several years. And here's another one with MicroStrategy. He bet actually the same amount and he won 14,000. And here's another one. Bro dropped 7 million to win 15,000. So I mean, I don't know if this is photoshopped or not. I mean, I didn't really verify if this is true or not, but there's this guy here, Poor Sub. He did, will Melania say career doing AI talk on Friday? And he bet $7,196,870 to win 0.21%. And so here we have his profile. And he actually have active position right now. So he did, will Trump say million, billion, trillion 10 times doing CNBC interview. So he put $1 million and he made $1,000 so far. So he bought at 99.8 and currently it's 99.9. And then closed. Yeah, we have it. We have the one here where he bet 7 million. He did 6 million and 100,000, 4 million, 2 million, 1 million, 2 million, 1.5. That's just crazy, right? So he does like 1,000 here and there in profits, which is pretty mind-boggling. And if we do his profit loss, he have made 113,000 all time. He started in October Didn't really make much. So he's basically just scraping. It just looks like it's manual. For sure it's manual trades, I suppose. Betting, you know, 1 million a time is crazy. And done 63 predictions. Currently have a position value 1.6 million. So that is bonding in a nutshell. Yeah, so that was all for now. And if you haven't joined already, please go ahead and join our Discord community, Poly Traders. We already have more than 700 members in this Discord community. And it's growing every day. A lot of people are joining, and we have a lot of active members and discussing everything from bot development, strategy, prediction, crypto, and byte coding. And I mean, we're just growing this Discord and building it out as we go. So you can join the Discord today, and I've made sure to leave an invite down in the description below. So until next time, have a good one and see you. Bye-bye.